Howdy. Today we want to finally tackle the difficult subject of church giving. Whether it's a plate being passed around the church or whether or not it's a website where you can put your offerings, one way or another, churches say to give the money toward what they're doing. The question is, though, why do we do that? What's even the point of that in the first place? We want to read a little bit from Acts 2, starting at verse 42. And they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and fellowship, to the breaking of bread and the prayers. And awe came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were being done through the apostles. And all who believed were together, and had all things in common. And they were selling their possessions and belongings and distributing the proceeds to all, as any had need. And day by day, attending the temple together, and breaking bread in their homes, they received their food with glad and generous hearts, praising God and having favor with all the people. And the Lord added to their number day by day those who were being saved. Now, hopefully nobody thinks that we're trying to ask you to sell everything that you have and give it to the church. What we want to be able to understand is that the church is not this endless, bottomless pit into which we're supposed to be throwing our money. The thing is that in the past, there were times when people had offered miracles or forgiveness or some sorts of blessings in exchange for tithes, or even turned everything into a guilt trip. The thing is that I can't stand those personally. And frankly, I don't want you to just give your money to the church because you're supposed to. What I would rather do is have you start asking questions like, what does my church do with the money that I give my church? What is going to happen long term? How are we affecting the community? What are we doing to transform lives? Is this money just going into endless programming, or is it actually adding to the number of those who know Jesus? The thing is that there will never be an end to places that we can give our money, but we do have to ask questions about what we're actually doing with it. Now, the thing is that right now, we're looking at how we can do a lot of work during a pandemic, and we're trying to figure out what we can do to make life easier for people. And frankly, right now, there are going to be a lot of reasons not to give money to a church. Plenty of them. And that's the thing about this, is that if we're going to be doing work that is worthwhile and that is worth you contributing to, then great. If not, then you need to let us know. Because if there's reason for you not to be giving money to the church, then that means that the church is failing you. Because the thing is that if the church is doing what it's supposed to be doing, caring for others and supporting one another in Christ Jesus and proclaiming the good news to everyone that they see, everyone they hear, then you would want to give your money to that church because you would want to be a part of that. So if you're not doing so, if you don't believe that it's a priority to give money to the church, then tell your church why. Tell them this is the problem. Tell them this is where the gap is at. I want my money to go towards people who are in need, and I'm not able to do that through this church. And if the church is doing all those things, if they are making a difference in the community and proclaiming Jesus, then how can you use your time, money, energy, and resources to make those ministries worthwhile and viable, even now?